After an absolute slaughter in the leadership race of the Conservative Party of Canada, Pierre Poilievre finally returned to the House of Commons victorious to debate our favorite communist, low-key dictator and World Economic Forum puppet, Justin Trudeau. So it's time to react to it. Bro, it's just nice to see him, though, as the leader of the party. Ugh, I love it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to start by congratulating once again the member for Carleton, who is now the leader of the official opposition.
Polish shit, man.
And seeing as we are all back in the House of Commons now, I know that
it's so interesting to hear it in French, like him talking in French and then hearing the words, because the words don't match the body language and the overall intent whatsoever.
we have a lot of work to do this fall together. On this side of the House, we will focus on help for Canadians to create an economy that works for everyone. We will invest in creating more housing to counter the cost of living, to fight climate change, to help the middle class, and to help make communities safer, and to put more money back into the most vulnerable families in Canada. And we hope that all Canadians will work with us.
That fucking smile.
Families in Canada, and we hope that all Canadians will work with.
Fake as fuck.
With us, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition
has effectively admitted that his carbon tax has not worked, and therefore he needs to triple it. According to the Liberal Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, the forthcoming hike in the carbon tax will mean that the total cost for a Newfoundland senior living in the countryside on their heating bill will have been 80%. Canadians cannot afford that. But just for clarity, if you are a Newfoundland senior, how much will your home heating bill rise as a result of the forthcoming hike in the Liberal carbon tax?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, like all parliamentarians, we have each heard stories from Canadians who are struggling with the high cost of living, with the inflation that's been caused by the global crisis. That's why we're...
Global crisis? You mean the thing that you guys all put forth?
Putting forward concrete measures that are going to help Canadians. We're going to double the GST tax credit that's going to hit millions of families with extra support. We're delivering on support for low-income families on dental, and we're also moving forward with support for low-income renters. The Leader of the Opposition has an opportunity to support these measures and get help directly to Canadians. I hope he does exactly that.
Why is the answer always printing more money? Like, it's not going to make things fucking better. It's this endless cycle of, oh, we have an inflation problem, so let's help the people who are struggling with inflation by creating more money, which perpetuates more inflation. It's just like the fucking brain on Liberals and NDP. It's just, I don't understand how anyone can logically make sense and think this is a good thing for the country, for our economy, etc. I get what they're talking about when they talk about like lower income and all that jazz and helping out like the people who are struggling, but at the same time it's like I don't know if printing more money is actually going to do that. Actually, it's not that I don't know that, I know for a fucking fact that that will not fix things. It's a temporary solution that perpetuates the problem, and we continue on this fucking we'll own nothing and we'll love it train.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, the Leader of the Liberal Party has an opportunity to respect the fact that heating your home in January and February in Canada is not a luxury. And it does not make those Canadians polluters. They're just trying to survive. This from a Prime Minister who burned more jet fuel in 1 month than 20 average Canadians burn in an entire year.
Bingo.
So will the Prime Minister...
But it's climate change, guys.
Park the hypocrisy and axe the tax hikes.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we're going to continue to stay focused on direct and real help for Canadians, responding to the challenges they're facing with meaningful measures that are going to help millions of Canadians in the middle class and those working hard to join it. If Canadians have...
How the fuck do people still trust this man's words? Like, pay attention to people's actions, not what they say as the set party line. They don't give a fuck about you or me or anyone in this type of tier, if you will. Like, they only care about the political class themselves and the people that they are moving forward, their agendas. That's it. It's not the fucking working man, the common person. They don't give a flying fuck about this. They literally view us all as ants. So I just, this whole thing of, oh, we care so much, it's just so empty and full of shit, in my opinion.
Followed the advice of the leader of the opposition and invested in volatile cryptocurrencies in an attempt to opt out of inflation.
Is that because you don't have control over it?
They would have lost half of their...
Or rather, less, because they fucking still try and find ways to control the shit. That's the answer is literally control everything with them. If you can understand, all they want is more fucking power and control, and this never ends until we literally achieve full-on communism, then... I don't know, like, please, just catch up. Like, I beg you, please catch up for the sake of our entire human race, if you will.
Savings. Mr. Speaker, responsible leadership means stepping up for Canadians and being there to support them. Will the Conservative leader support our measures to support Canadians?
The Honourable Leader.
Trying so fucking hard, bro.
We will not support tax hikes on Canadians. Speaking of tax
Let's
hikes,
go.
They plan to raise taxes on paychecks. Now, yesterday, the finance minister claimed that all the EI tax hikes that they would collect would go to EI benefits. In fact, I looked it up. Over the next 3 years, they're going to collect $10 billion more in EI taxes than they pay out in EI benefits, allowing the Prime Minister to grab up the difference and use it to feed his insatiable spending appetites. Canadians can't afford a bigger bite off their paychecks. Will the Prime Minister cancel his tax hikes on Canadian paychecks?
What I love about having Pierre in this position and hopefully overtaking Trudeau in 3 years' time is that he's a libertarian at heart. He believes in small government, not big government, and just big government literally always loses. So it's very nice to know that Pierre isn't just a conservative, because there's like obviously liberal, conservative, and then libertarian, if you want to do like a U, if you will. Personally, for me, I identify most as a libertarian, but I take things from everywhere. I go on an issue by issue, idea by idea basis, and just whoever has the best idea wins in my mind. But I love the fact that there's a libertarian in power under the banner of conservative, because we don't have like a popular libertarian party here. And then the same in the US as well. You see a lot of libertarians running under the Republican banner to give them the best shot of winning. But yeah, man, just smaller government is literally always the fucking answer.
Speaker, I think in this House it's important to look at the facts. And the facts are that when the leader of the opposition...
Oh, it's interesting. I'm very glad to hear that he cares about facts.
Minister responsible for employment insurance, premiums were 20% higher for workers than they are now. That's right, workers paid 20% more. That's why we're continuing to move forward to support workers. On the issue of the CPP, we promise to be there for workers as they become seniors to help them with their retirements, and that's exactly what we did. And in regards to pricing pollution, we promised it would no longer be free to pollute anywhere in this country, and it no longer is. That's what we're focused on.
The Honourable.
Man, oh man, everything under the guise of something virtuous. That's what you gotta really be cautious of. Whether it's the pandy, whether it's all this green stuff, just be cautious of what they'll introduce and what they'll do under the guise of doing the right thing and being virtuous in nature. They'll use it to their benefit to further their agenda, like they always do. It's just the communist playbook at this point.
Leader of the Opposition.
The Prime Minister is quite wrong. Today, payroll taxes on the average $60,000 a year worker are about $700 higher than when we left office. And by the way, we left with a balanced budget. Now, he wants to raise those taxes even further. Bigger bite off Canadian paychecks at a time when inflation is at a 40-year high, when students are forced to live in homeless shelters, and when home ownership rates are at the lowest level in a generation. Doesn't he understand that now is the worst time to raise taxes? Will he cancel those tax hikes?
Of course he wouldn't. No fucking shot. Here's why. He acts as a tax. He removes his power and influence, because the more money that the government gets, the more it pays out to the people who they are associating with, and then that gives them more power and control. So that's why you see, like, on both sides, tax goes higher on both sides unless there's like a libertarian in place, because it's more power for them, it's more control for them, because the more tax dollars they have coming in, the more they can send to their buddies and get a kickback and also have favors and all that jazz. It's literally political power raising the taxes. That's why they won't fucking give it up. And that's also why I'm excited about having Pierre in there, because if he properly lowers all this stuff, it's like he's there for the right reasons. You can tell a lot based on someone's tax policies if they're a corrupt politician or not. Like, those who want to lower it are typically better. And when I say better, I mean those are the types of people who you want in office, because they're not after the power and control. They're after actually doing what's right for the people. They're there to correct things. They're there to improve and evolve society, not just there for their own financial interests.
Let's look at what he was doing when he was in government. He continued to deliver child benefit checks to millionaire families, which we ended when we took office. And then he voted against raising taxes on the wealthiest 1% so we could lower them on the middle class. And he voted against...
Imagine actually pretending like you care about the middle class when you say stuff like that. Like, if you really cared about the middle class, maybe don't spend the last 2.5 years trying to fucking dissolve them. Fuck.
A Canada child benefit that delivers hundreds of dollars a month, tax-free to every Canadian family. We've seen where this leader of the opposition stands. On this side of the aisle, we're going to stay focused on helping Canadians for real.
Sure you will, bro. Sure you will. Good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this. First video back in a minute. I have been busy, but I'm trying to make more videos again. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my main channel, and I'll catch you guys soon.